All right, welcome back, everybody, for another episode of Blizchat for another good podcast today. We will be joined today with Casey. So give me 1 second. Welcome, Casey. Welcome to the lovely podcast today.
Well, hello, hello, hello.
As
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, obviously, as another Colorado person, you obviously know a little bit, maybe only a little bit, but we'll see as we go. So. As always, I'll have my chat turned off, guys, while we do the podcast till like close to the end, just so I don't get distracted because I'm an easily distracted person. But yeah, anyway, how are you doing today, Casey? Just kind of start off that way.
Not too bad, not too bad.
Yeah, yeah,
Was my day off, was relaxing.
yeah,
How
that's
about
always
you?
good. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Just got home from work not too long ago, so living the dream, shoving stuff up noses, always a good time. So, but yeah,
Right? Somebody's got to be trimming this up.
yeah, definitely. So anyway, yeah, Real Latina requested like a week or so ago that we do a podcast on Colorado and what it's like to live in Colorado. So as you can see, my background is the picture from my house, so you can kind of see the mountain view I have from my house and whatnot. But yeah, so anyway, Casey, we're just gonna kind of start with if you think there's any perks of living in Colorado compared to other places, maybe.
Well, I mean, it's got a large attraction for ski resorts and a lot of winter sports that happen in this state. Not only do we have like Breckenridge, but there are countless numerous others. We got Echo, and so many other places that people who normally wouldn't be able to enjoy winter sports be able to go. I know I have a lot of people, a lot of family in Florida who come up every once in a while in the winter and are able to enjoy the mountains when normally they're down in the swamplands.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
And
Yeah, I would say definitely the mountains are a huge perk, and definitely being able to ski and stuff. Because I mean, like for you and I, it's probably like what an hour and a half to go skiing. So
if that, yeah, just
yeah,
gotta shoot through the Eisenhower Tunnel. Fun little tidbit about Colorado, Eisenhower Tunnel.
do you know how long the Eisenhower Tunnel is? It's pretty long, isn't it? I don't remember exactly how long, but is it
She's
like a
very
mile or
long.
something?
Luckily, I
Something like that.
have. Yes, I think so.
Something like that. But yeah, anyway, that's pretty fun. So I guess we can kind of just go straight into hobbies from there. Like I know a lot of Colorado people do like skiing and whatnot. So, do you ski regularly, Casey, or snowboard, or what do you do?
I used to snowboard a couple years back, but I've been out of it ever since my bindings broke and I've been too broke to buy new ones.
Yeah,
but
no, I get that for
yeah,
sure. But
right. I love doing it, but it is a little bit of a money suck. I'm not gonna lie.
mhm.
But I mean, as of any hobby, you're gonna have a money suck. So
No, that's true. Yeah, I used to ski a lot when I was younger as a kid, but I feel like I haven't been skiing in years. But my dad would used to take me to the ski resorts, and we'd like clip tickets. So if you don't know what that is, like people who are done skiing for the day, you pay them like $5. Be like, hey, go get a bottle of beer, and then you take their tickets from them. Which they found ways
that's so
around now,
funny.
so you can't really do that anymore. But
Yeah,
that's how we used to do the cheap route. But yeah, just like skis in general, like hundreds of bucks for like skis and boots and all that good shit. So,
right. And then
but
on top of like the season pass or whatever the fuck.
mhm. Yeah,
Oh, by
definitely.
the way, it is approximately 60 miles. It is a dual bore 4-lane vehicular tunnel.
60 miles? That can't be right.
60
For the whole tunnel?
The Eisenhower Tunnel, the Eisen C. Edwin Johnson Memorial Tunnel.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that long, but that's like both directions, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. Oh man, it does feel long, but it doesn't
No,
feel that long. But
well, you got to remember you're going highway speeds. So,
I guess I
if
could
you're
see that.
going 80
Yeah,
miles an hour,
that means you'd still take an
yep.
hour to drive through it, though, almost, which is not true. I think you. I think that's not right. I think 6 miles I could believe. No.
It probably is 6 miles. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
I'm like
Where does it
60
say how
miles.
long it is?
Yeah, 6 miles
Yeah,
seems
now that
way
I'm
too
thinking
much.
of it, the Continental Divide, because that's what it separates the Continental Divide. You get from one side to the other.
Hmm.
Um, it can't be. Hold on.
No, it's probably like maybe 6 miles I can believe, but. I mean, it's not that important, but it would be an interesting fact for sure. So, anyway,
Anyways,
some other hobbies I
moving.
know, like I enjoy off roading. You ever go off roading or anything?
Oh, absolutely. There is a spot back in Gunnison.
Hmm.
Um, went 30 miles. You know where the Blue Mesa Reservoir is?
Mm,
That's a beautiful little hot spot.
yeah, I'm not really familiar with where Gunnison is. I know it's somewhere in the mountains, but yeah,
It starts feeling a little deserty, but not quite. You know, you still have trees and stuff, but it's dry. But the
gotcha.
mesa, where the mesas are, um, it creates this massive reservoir that we have dammed over the years, and it's an excellent spot to do any sort of water sports or fish or camp. I've gone way back, found like a little dog leg off of like the main reservoir, gone a couple of miles back, still in water, and then gone off, parked my boat, and camped. You
Right?
know, so there's so many places that you could just disappear back there.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did a 30-mile ATV track round trip, of course. Um, deep in the mountains, right back near that spot, and on it was really funny actually. It was me and my buddy Thomas, and we get to this awesome spot we were looking at it on the map. I'm like, oh, we're gonna get there, it's gonna be awesome, we're gonna take pictures.
Hmm.
And we get there, it's been like I don't know, an hour and a half trek. We've been out on the roads revving, running down the you know how it goes.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and on ATVs, it's just more exemplified. It just goes
Mhm.
straight into your kidneys.
Yeah,
Like, if you
definitely.
have any value for your kidneys, stand up.
Gotta be kidding
Um,
me.
I get there, I look down and I'm like, oh shit, we didn't check our gas tanks before we left, did we?
Oh
And he
wow.
goes, oh shit, no, we didn't. And luckily, he was like at 3/4 of a tank, but I was like getting close. I was down to like a quarter.
Mhm.
And he's like, "Dude, I don't think you're gonna be able to make it back with the AT with like just riding it back." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think so either." Um, a group of rangers passed. They didn't have any fuel on them. Um, so we ended up having to literally tow one ATV with the other ATV, and the remainder half of the trip. The other 15 miles.
Wow.
Let me tell you, it's a lot harder when you're tugging an ATV
I'm sure it is. That
versus when
definitely
you
kills the
have
gas
just
mileage
like
of the
an
other one too.
ATV.
But
Right? And he gets back, he's like, all right, now I can use the rest of the tank to drive up like nothing happened. I'm like, all right, perfect, works for me. We don't have to admit any fault. That didn't happen.
right, definitely.
Unbeknownst to his father, it never happened.
Well, there you go. I'm more of a car. I have my Xterra, so I usually drive my car off roading instead of a ATV, just because I don't know. It's kind of more
Yeah.
luxurious. I like the climate control. I can
Well,
still have
and
my
you're
air
more,
conditioning.
yeah, you got to sit, you got a seatbelt. I had a 2001 Jeep for a while, and that was
Mm.
my ideal as well. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And I'm looking to get one again. If you want to live in Colorado, get a 4x4. It'll make your life easier.
yeah, yeah. I definitely enjoy that. It's super hard on your car, so like, I have to do a lot of maintenance on my car if I do off roading. But obviously, some other alternatives. You also
Right.
have like those Razor. I guess they're like kind of dune buggy looking type things, and then you also have like dirt bikes or the other alternatives.
Right,
And I can't.
like the 4 series.
Yeah, and I don't understand how people are fucking doing that shit in dirt bikes. That just seems super uncomfortable. Like I could not do a whole day of dirt biking like I could in a car, but
Right. Oh my god.
yeah. But yeah, there's a
Oh
lot of
well.
camping
See, at least
spots
with an
and
ATV,
whatnot.
you got four wheels, so you don't really have to worry that much. Now, I don't want to be focusing on whether I want to be balanced for 5 hours of my day.
Hmm. Yeah.
I ain't that good at balancing, man.
No, I get that. I'm a little chunkier. I'm a little chubby. You know, you don't wanna deal with that out there. But as far as like my favorite trail is Argentine Pass, which if you don't know where that is, that's kind of by Georgetown. So it's about guess about an hour and a half away from me. But yeah, it's
Mm.
awesome because there's really only like one main trail, but there's like a couple of extra trails you can go up. But one of the trails that you actually drive in the river, which I think is a lot of fun. So just driving up the river, it's usually like I don't know, halfway if you're tired. It's not like super deep river or anything like that, but obviously it depends on when you go there, how much snow melt and whatnot. But also on this trail, there's a
Enough
lot
to
of like
Jimmy Jangles.
yeah, yeah, definitely. There's also like a lot of like abandoned mines and stuff, so you can go like explore the mines and kind of like look how it used to be, like the pioneering days and
Yeah.
whatnot. And then
Yeah,
also you can take
Colorado's
like
a huge mining state.
yeah, definitely. But also, I think it goes like I think it's on top of the Continental Divide or something like that, like the mountain that it maybe no, maybe that's a different trail thing. But anyway, and like you go to the top of this mountain, and you can just fucking see for miles, which is amazing too. So that's always definitely a good aspect of it. And then you can always take like your if you have any guns and stuff, you can take those, do a little shooting out there. Not right now because of the fire bans, but generally. So,
Yep. Damn
but
fire bans.
I don't know, damn fire bans. But you own any guns? I don't know if you're a gun owner or not, but
I have a couple hand-me-downs from my dad. That's about it.
gotcha. Yeah, because I got like I used to take my 22. I had like a single shot rifle that my grandfather passed down to me, and that was always fun to like take some cans and go shoot some cans and stuff, and maybe take some targets. That's always fun. But
Right. If I had $1 million, I could totally see myself falling down into that, wormhole.
I don't think an
Get
million
sucked
dollars to go
into.
into guns, but you mean just
Well,
like
no, no,
going to
no.
get
Like
into
if
it?
I had $1 million, meaning that I have like money to spend on like frivolous expenses as
Mm,
well as my other things. You know what I
gotcha.
mean?
Right.
And where I would be able to afford to, have cool ranges and stuff.
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely get that. But I guess we kind of keep going into fun towns to visit too. So, some other towns I'm thinking of right off the top of my head is Vail is always a big one. I feel like Vail is a big tourist trap. So, especially when they do like
Veil's
Oktoberfest.
good stuff.
Have you ever been there in the Oktoberfest?
I don't believe so, actually.
Dude, that shit is crazy. I went there. It was like just people partying, just a fuck ton of dancing. It was just like a huge, like I don't know, just a huge party the whole weekend. And my brother actually did his wedding up in Vale, but we had to like drive like up a mountain nearby there, and it was like next to a lake there. Super beautiful. But then we spent like a
Hmm.
good part of the days like in hotels at Vale and like traveling around there. So that was definitely a lot of fun too. But yeah, so I highly recommend that to anybody. And another one, I don't know, you might have been to Manitou Springs too. Has that old like authentic arcade or whatever. You can go there. It's just like super cheap. Like put some quarters in the
Oh,
machine and
yes. Yeah, I've been there when I was real young, real young. My parents,
mm-hmm.
we went a trip up there. I think we went with a couple of our Florida family because
Mm,
they wanted to go experience Colorado.
yeah, yeah. That's definitely an interesting
All I
place to go
remember
there.
is
But
bunch of old ass arcade games.
yeah, I remember. I liked the horse racing one a lot. Just like you put the money and like bet on which horse was gonna
Right,
win or whatever. Or no, maybe it was like the one where you like tap
right.
really
No
fast on
wonder.
your horse, but something like that.
Yeah, I think so. And you're like trying to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Oh, another one is Estes Park. Have you ever been up to Estes Park?
I don't think I've been to. What's up? I've heard of it, of course, but I've never been there. So what's up in Estes Park?
Oh, you got the chocolate factory. Um, Mainly the main central hub of Estes Park is the main tourist attraction. There's a lot of kind of high bill restaurants that um tourists really like to go to. Mostly what we would do is we would go into the main like area of Estes Park and just walk through all of the cool little shops and mainly the chocolate factory. I'm not gonna lie.
Gotcha.
That was where I was beelighting it to, dude. I mean,
Uh,
oh, the fudge, like literally, like so much chocolate that you could imagine, and it's like melt in your mouth, deliciousness.
I
But
do like chocolate.
they got cool little trinket shops and all
Hmm,
that fun stuff.
gotcha. Yeah, what's the? There's that other town across on I-70, like across the mountains. That's the Hot Springs. What's that? Is that like Guanella Springs or something like that? Or Geneva Springs?
Are you thinking of
Is it Geneva
Guanella
Springs?
Pass?
No, not Guanella Pass. The one that has the hot springs, like off I-70, like way across the mountains. I think it's like Geneva Springs or whatever. I remember I did a field trip there when I was in marching band, and they have like a whole bunch of authentic hot springs with like different minerals
Oh,
and stuff.
Was
Glenwood
that the one?
Springs.
Wait,
Glenwood Springs.
the
That's what
one
it
we
is.
went to together? Yeah, Glenwood Springs.
Yeah, 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 when you were in marching band. Yeah, Glenwood Springs. That's right. Yeah, they have like it's like
Yeah.
right next
Oh,
to the
it was
river.
called like the
Mhm.
Hot Rock or something. Something Rock.
Something like that.
That
Yeah, but they
place was
have like the 12 different pools or whatever, like different minerals. That was a lot of fun.
right, and then they would like tell you like how to do them in order, and they were all in like these really cool stone sphere or circles,
Hmm.
like little hot tubs.
Yeah.
And the real weren't the really hot ones just like the ones straight out of the ground?
Something like that, yeah. Also, funny story related to that. I was talking to somebody the other day. I don't remember who, but they were talking about going there. I guess obviously since we were in high school, they didn't point this out to us, but they have like a private hot tub, like just for
Oh.
couples. So they get it like just a couple can reserve for an hour, their own little
Yeah.
hot spring. They're like, yeah, it's usually for honeymoons, you know.
Oh,
So you
Lord.
can have some hot times at the hot springs. So I was like, fuck, I didn't realize
Oh
that when I was there, but I guess I didn't look
boy.
around too much. Oh dear. I guess I don't know.
Well,
Would
I
you really want
mean,
to go in a
I
hot spring after that though? Like, what does it recirculate? I don't really know how that works, but
I would be like, what would that do to your body? Like, would you
yeah.
get a yeast infection or something? Get some sort of like
Well, it kind of depends because
urinary
they have the
tract
different minerals
thing?
in anything, right? So like we don't know exactly what minerals that one has, but that's just thought that was fucking
Right.
hilarious. I was like, fuck, I didn't even realize that when I was there. But now that I think about
I
it,
know.
maybe I
I'm
did
surprised we
mention
didn't
like,
walk past the door in here.
mm-hmm.
Ah,
Ah, ah.
oh, oh. And then just like a whole bunch of splashing and
Actually, now that I think about it, I think I did see like it had like some weird like a glass. It wasn't glass, right? It was like plexiglass, like you couldn't see through or something, like box, if I
yeah,
remember.
it was obscured, but it was some sort of like Pyrex
Maybe
glass
that's what it is.
thing, right?
Yeah,
It might have been that.
maybe. Yeah. So this kind of stuff. Do you have any other mountain towns before we move into like the citier towns you can think of that are? I mean, obviously, you always have Evergreen. I mean, that's obviously where we live, or close to where we live. But if you go to Evergreen, there's not, they have
Right.
like their downtown strip. Super, super cute little town, quaint little town. They have like a whole bunch of, they have like a cafe, Wildflower Cafe. If you ever come here, I highly recommend. They have like plate-sized
Oh, yeah,
pancakes.
that's good stuff.
Yeah. Besides like the shopping strip, though, there's really not too much to do. You have like Cactus Jack's, which is like a bar, and you can always do that. But there's Evergreen Lake, so I guess
Oh,
you could
you
always
got
do like some fishing stuff.
Bojo's.
Got Bojo's. Yeah, Bojo's is really good pizza
A
too.
lot of people don't know about Bojo's. That's my good
No,
old
no, no. You
mountain
know
style
the thing
pizza.
that people don't know about is the fucking like taco stand that's there at the gas station around the corner. Remember that fucking I don't know if they're still there, but that taco stand, I used to hit that up all the time.
Oh my god, that was so
Dude,
good.
that was fucking
Or the
amazing.
burrito stand over in Conifer.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
that
one's
was
good too.
good stuff.
Oh shit, yeah. I remember we used to go there all the time, like before school, and get like a burrito or a burrito bowl. That was
Yeah,
so good.
right.
But yeah, you have like Evergreen Lake. Evergreen Lake, you have like you can rent the paddle boards and kind of paddle board out on there and kind of do some fishing and
Right, you can
whatnot.
walk the whole circuit.
And they used to have like the concerts. Was it every it was like once a month or something, wasn't it? Where it was just like local artists like doing
They had just started to do that. Yeah, they would do a bunch of local artists, and then they would have a whole bunch of local vendors,
mhm.
um, and just groove out.
Yeah, I remember going to those. Those were a lot of fun. And sometimes it got too loud and rowdy for me, so I'd go walk around the lake, which takes about half an hour. It doesn't even take that long to like
Too
walk
loud
around.
and rowdy, you old
I'm not a
man.
party guy, okay? I'm a fucking bum, bro. So yeah. But yeah, you know of any other like mountain towns that are like
Well,
super good?
there's all sorts, honestly.
Well, there's a time, but like some that would be recommend
Georgetown,
like
you
somebody
got,
like
um,
recommend going to. Georgetown's cool for the off roading thing, but other than that, there's really not
well, and
anything
you
in
also
Georgetown.
got, there's the brewery there, Tommyknockers.
Yeah, I
That's
have been
where
there. That's right.
Tommyknockers is brewed.
Yeah, there's breweries a
Honestly,
lot.
Colorado is not only an old mining town, but a huge brewery state, or Colorado
Hmm.
state, not a Colorado town.
Yeah,
Um, even Coors, brewed in
yeah.
Colorado.
I could see Coors from my fucking house, but I remember doing a. Did you ever do the tour
Right.
of Coors? I remember doing the tour of it. I wasn't old enough to drink yet, but just going through and like seeing how all that was made was pretty interesting. I don't remember most of it now, but if you haven't done that tour, I recommend
I
that too.
really wish I really want to.
Yeah.
I've been looking to get into the breweries because I'm very interested in the process.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, honestly, and then if you're, a historical person, like looking at cool historical stuff, you got Bensel, Fort Garland, and Fort Uncompahgre. I don't know if I'm saying that one correctly. Um, which are like good old frontier cowboy forts,
Got
and I
Fort
think they're
Morgan,
really
of
cool to
course.
look at.
Always got Fort. I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, Fort Morgan.
That's a big one.
Well, there used to be a fort there back in the old days.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
now
we
it's
can't
just
go
like
look
a
at it
fucking
anymore.
factory that smells like shit. So don't go to Fort Morgan.
It's
Don't go to
don't go
Fort
to
Morgan.
Fort Morgan.
Fort Morgan sucks. Just a tiny little town in the middle of fucking
Oh
nowhere.
God,
But
or Greeley. Don't go to
yeah,
Greeley. It just
Greeley
smells like
sucks
cow
too.
shit everywhere.
Greeley's kind of a
Uh,
college town too, though. So you got like a whole bunch of college students around
yeah.
Greeley. I don't even know how they can handle the smell, but
My buddy went out there, had a whole bunch of shit go down, and was not a good experience.
yeah. So I'm thinking, kind of before we go into like the Denver suburb, like Denver metro stuff, we also have like Boulder. Boulder has a lot of shops,
Oh, yep.
especially they have a fuck
Huge
ton of
music scene, the Boulder Theater.
huge hippie scene for sure too. But yeah, they do have a lot of shops
Well,
you can kind of go around to, and they have like a whole bunch of jewelry and like a whole bunch of shops for everything, really. But
it's yeah, right. Definitely a tourist attracting city. Also, you can just tell that it's a college town. Like it
yeah.
just gives off that vibe. Uh, I mean, but honestly, the architecture of Boulder is really cool. When you get really into the heart, all of the stonework is genuinely stunning.
Hmm. No, that's definitely true. I remember my dad when I was younger. He used to be real into hippie chicks, so he would take me there when I was like really small to try to pick up
Jeez.
chicks. So he'd have me and he'd have his dog. So he'd have the puppy and the kid to try and pick up chicks. In Boulder. Oh, it was so fucking hilarious.
Duality,
But
man.
yeah,
Holy
yeah, it
shit.
was really funny. But yeah, it's a Boulder. Besides that, like shops and stuff, I don't know of any like super big attractions in Boulder, but.
I mean, yeah, like I said, the Denver theater, other than being historically cool and like music scene.
Mhm.
Oh, I know Dweezil Zappa played there a couple times, and that was good fun.
I don't know who that is, but I'll take your word for it.
That's Frank Zappa's son.
Oh, okay, sure. I'll pretend I know who that is.
Yeah.
Other towns. I'm trying to think what other towns we have. We have Colorado Springs, which has like Gardens of the God, which is always really fun. Which is just like a lot of really cool rock like architecture and stuff. I guess would be
Yeah, that's
classified as.
good stuff.
I remember I went there like many years ago, but I don't really remember too much about it. But it's just a lot of cool rocks. But and then you have besides the Colorado Springs, it's just another town. There's not too much else besides that that I can think of. Obviously, you have Pueblo, which is kind of the pits of Colorado, so that's kind of like the ghetto part
Yeah,
of Colorado.
Pueblo.
Yeah, I would definitely avoid Pueblo at all
One of
costs.
them, yeah, one of them.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely avoid Pueblo. But yeah, I think. Do you have anything else outside of like Denver Metro that's worth noting? The rest of it's pretty rural. I mean,
That that comes to mind. I don't believe so.
yeah.
Um,
Okay, that's fine. We can kind of
Continue
move
on
to
if
like
you
Deer Metro and whatnot. So I kind of think we have. I'm gonna kind of start close to where I live, so I'm thinking like Morrison. Obviously, is an interesting one where they have a lot of shops, and they have Red Rocks, which is definitely one of the best
Yep.
places to go see concerts. Yeah, probably in the United States, possibly. Kind of depends on what your preference is, but it's very natural. It's all outside. They still have like a whole bunch of speakers and whatnot, but
I mean, honestly, it's hard to not like Red Rocks. There's the Rock and Roll History Museum down inside of it.
mhm.
You've got when they're not playing a band, you're free to walk about the amphitheater. So a lot of people use it for exercise.
Yeah, I
So
have noticed that. A lot
they'll
of
do
firefighters go there and
stairs.
run up and down the stairs. I've noticed, so it's very interesting.
It's
But
good cardio. It's work.
yeah, but I definitely
And you could
don't work out.
actually
So
tell even let you down on the rocks and sit in and read in one of the hole in like the lower holes
hmm,
of the rocks.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty fun. Besides that, Morrison just has a whole bunch of cool little quaint shops and whatnot. So like they have a little strip that you can kind of walk up and down. It doesn't take very long, but we don't need to go in like all the
Well, and they
shops
got
and
the
stuff.
Morrison Inn,
Yeah, Morrison is pretty good
which
because
has
they
been
have
there since like late 1800s,
they
I
have
believe.
food there too, don't they? At the Morrison Inn, or is it just like you know?
I believe so. Yeah, I think it's like more of like tourist attraction than an actual inn at this point. But
Probably.
bands will actually play in the basement there too, so people can rent it out for private venues.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I didn't know that. I don't know too much about Morris. I've visited a couple times here and there, but it's not something I do super often. So, and then we're kind of moving north a little bit. We have Golden, obviously. Golden, the original capital of
The
Colorado.
Taj Mahal.
Yeah, see, they have the big Taj Mahal there. You can go kind of can't really do too much there. It's obviously still like government building, so you can go check it out kind of. But you can't really like walk around or anything.
Yeah, for those who don't know what that means, that's the Jefferson County Courthouse.
Yeah.
It's a big giant glass dome on like a very oblong building, so it looks like the Taj Mahal, and it's very awesome to look at, not fun to be on the inside of.
No, no, definitely. They have like the police station there too. I think they have a jail too there
Yeah.
too. So
Yep,
don't go
which
there.
ironically from the sky look like handcuffs.
Really? I haven't looked into that. I'll have to look at that.
Yeah.
Huh. Oh, I'll have to
No,
look
it's
into
so
that. But
funny. You gotta find about Google Maps.
yeah, and so Golden's a college town too. You have the Colorado School of Mines there, and Lookout Mountain, which is right next to
Yeah.
Golden, has the giant M on it for the Colorado School of Mines, which is pretty nice. It kind of like lights up at night and whatnot. So that's pretty fun. And then obviously you have like a huge strip there. Man, I feel like all the places have like a strip. A lot of towns have a strip of just like all their shops and malls and whatnot. But it used to be, I don't know if they're still doing this with COVID, but like every weekend they would have the classic cars show, right, where like everybody would bring their classic cars and kind of drive up and down the strip with like Model A's and like Model T's and all that good stuff. I don't know if you ever saw that, but that was always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then they used to do like the outdoor movies in the park or whatever, which I don't think they do that anymore with COVID either. But it'll probably come back eventually. You just go to the park and watch some older movies and whatnot. And then obviously the main attraction that everybody wants to know is on the river. Okay, they have like I don't know, maybe like a half a mile of like a river walk, like next to the river. There's a fuck ton of Pokestops. So if you're into Pokemon Go, that's the place to go. I used to go with Ezra. We'd go drive down to Golden just to walk up and down that strip. Because by the time you walk to the end, all the
Wow.
Pokestops would reset, so you can walk back and get all the Pokestops again.
Jeez.
Dude, it was hilarious. There'd be so many people out there just like fucking walking up and down playing Pokemon Go. It was so funny. And I remember we were coming back towards the parking lot and we hear somebody scream Charizard. So everybody like starts running, booking it to where they are to like catch this fucking Charizard. It was fucking hilarious. So
That's so funny.
good times at Golden for sure. But I was trying to look at my
Have you
pictures. I
been
think
looking at the stream chat, bro?
what out the stream? What?
Have you been looking at the stream chat?
No, I don't look at the stream chat because I get distracted. Should I pull it up real quick? What a lot of people saying
Uh,
stuff. Oh, hold on. There's a whole bunch of people talking. No, yeah, I try not to read the chat when we're doing the Blizz chat and stuff, but I looked at it real quick, so I see space for
fair enough. Fair enough.
yeah, I kind of saved like the last like 15 to 20 minutes to kind of like answer questions and look at chat, so just as to not get myself distracted with my dementia and whatnot. So, but I was looking at the picture I
Right.
have up here, which you can kind of see my background picture for my house is mostly just Denver. Not the best of pictures, but that's kind of the Denver metro area. But you can't really see Golden from that picture. But yeah, so other towns in kind of Denver metro, you have Aurora. Aurora is definitely the ghetto of Denver, so would not recommend that. I lived there for about a year. Super sketch, so I don't know about you, but I try to avoid Aurora if possible.
Yeah.
You have a few other
Yeah.
smaller
Me too.
towns. You have like Littleton and Lakewood, but they don't really have anything notable. So I'm just thinking of like downtown Denver. Downtown Denver, you obviously have like the 16th Street Mall, which I think I've been there like once or
Yep.
twice, but it's mostly just like an outside mall where you can kind of walk up and down and do a whole bunch of other stuff. But do you know of any like notable shops in the 16th Street Mall? I haven't really been there that much, but
I mean, you could pretty much swing a cat, dude. They got everything from GameStop to Earthbound on the 16th Street Mall. It's ridiculous.
mhm.
I mean, the best part about 16th Street Mall is when there's like or used to, I guess, the events. You know,
Yeah.
you'd have like the zombie crawl and all of that fun stuff. Where you would just get a bunch of people to go to the 16th Street Mall and party out and give them a chance to listen to live music and hang out and have a good time.
Yeah, that's true. I remember
Uh,
going there for Oktoberfest too. Wasn't quite as lit as in Vale, but it was still pretty fun. So, um,
Oh,
Obviously,
you
some.
also got a Hard Rock Cafe on the 16th Street Mall.
I don't think I've been to that one. They have like good food. I'm sure it's probably super overpriced, but anything in the 16th Street Mall, like downtown Denver, is pretty overpriced. But then
Yeah.
you have like
Yeah,
the
that's how it
convention
goes.
center, which they have the giant bear that's leaning up against the glass. I remember when my stepmom came to visit, she wanted to like stand under the bear and get some pictures with the bear. I don't know. Have you gotten pictures with the bear?
Yeah, of course. How could you not get pictures with the bear?
Oh, dude, the bear is fucking hilarious. If you guys don't, you can always look up pictures of the bear. The bear is really cool and really tall. Like, it's huge. But I've never gone to like a car show there. But I remember going to a car show in Chicago that was way bigger. It wasn't like super huge car show or anything, but it's still pretty nice to go look around or anything. But that's another thing notable I can think about. The conventions there. I'm sure they do a whole bunch of other stuff, but I don't go to Denver that much. So other stuff we always have like the Denver Aquarium, which is pretty small in comparison to most other aquariums, but they do have like the stingray petting, which is always fun.
Yeah, it's pretty cool for what it is.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's pretty small. I remember going to the one in Georgia, and the one in Georgia has like 3 whale sharks. We definitely don't have any fucking whale sharks or like a dolphin show.
Right.
I forgot the dolphin show, dude. The
Yeah,
dolphin show is
Florida.
awesome,
Yeah, the
but
one in Florida was definitely going too. It was popping.
yeah, but you know
I
it's still
mean,
cool if you want
hours.
to go. But, yeah. Obviously there's Elitch's, which is like a Six Flags kind of type thing. So you have like your roller coasters and all that good stuff. They have a really old one called the Twister 2. So if you want to
The
get your
Twister.
back broken,
Ooh.
you can do that. Definitely fucking breaks your back for sure. But I remember wanting to go on that one all the
Pretty
time. So
fun though, I'm not gonna lie. It's awesome.
yeah, I think I like the little water park side, so you can kind of go and do that, which is it's pretty mad, I'd say, but.
And the mind eraser.
Yeah, the mind eraser is really fun. That one, you think you're gonna like whack your knees on something. You're just like going so
Oh
fast and
yeah,
it
you
feels so
think
much
you're
better.
gonna lose a leg is what you're thinking the whole time. When is my foot gonna go
Isn't that the
flying off
ride?
into the
Okay, I think I remember this correctly. Like somebody dropped their phone in the mind eraser, and they like fucking just like jumped the fence to get their phone back, and they got like decapitated by the ride. Am I thinking that? Like, was that the mind eraser? I remember that happening, but I can't remember what ride it was.
I feel like that might have been the mind eraser. Maybe. Not a
It's kind of fucked up
100%.
to
That
laugh
sounds
at, but
very, very familiar. I mean,
yeah, but
I'm
also
sorry, but
like you're
that's
kind of
pretty
an
funny.
idiot. But yeah, I'm trying to think about
Yeah, right.
the.
That's natural selection
Yeah, dude,
work
that's
right there.
fuck. I mean, come on. We have the Denver Zoo. The Denver Zoo is actually pretty sizable. They have a whole bunch. They have a good amount of exhibits, and they've actually been expanding it quite a bit. So, but they have like a reptile section. They have like a whole bunch of. They have a whole bunch of elephants, and they have a good amount of stuff. They have some monkeys. I went there the other day during Christmas kind of time. I didn't get to do the Christmas lights, unfortunately. You didn't? Did you do the Christmas lights perchance, or?
Not the past couple of years. I think I went a couple way back, a couple years ago with some friends, but not recently.
But it's just like going to the zoo at night with like all the Christmas lights, isn't it? That's basically the gist of it.
Yeah, it's really sweet. I mean, basically, it's like every little everything that's above your head is covered in lights. So you're walking through like just lights everywhere.
Gotcha.
I
So
know my descriptive capabilities are very high, but I
yes,
mean,
yeah. But yeah, I went there and there's like this one monkey that just like would not. He just like kept screaming the whole time we were there. And you could hear him across like the whole zoo. I was like, man, anybody lives close to the zoo, we're gonna have to get that all the time. Close to the zoo, we also have the museum, which I haven't been to the museum. Oh, actually, no. I just went to the museum pretty recently. They had like the dog exhibit, which
the
I
Denver
it went to.
Museum.
Yeah, just the Denver Museum. They had the dog exhibit recently. I
And
went and did, which was pretty fun. They had, like the Lego one, which I
the
wanted to
art
do, but
museum or
nature and science,
nature and science one.
nature and science. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
one's
the
good.
way to go.
But I went there so many times as a kid on field trips. I feel like I know the whole fucking museum. So, but they have like pretty good like dinosaur stuff, which I was always interested in. It was look at the dinosaurs. But yeah, I mean, what was your favorite exhibit at the museum?
Dude, either the space one or the rocks and minerals.
Really? The rocks and minerals?
Rock, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, dude, I love looking at rocks. I can't get into the rock looking, but yeah, the
No,
space
okay,
one's
I
pretty
can't
good too.
stand there and look at a rock for 20 minutes, but I'll breeze through and happily look at them.
That's how I feel about the dinosaurs. I like looking at all the dinosaurs, but I've never been to the
Yeah,
Museum of Art, so you're gonna have to tell me about that one.
I wish I could because I have not been either.
Apparently, it can't be that notable if we haven't been there, right? But
Right, it's just a museum of art. Nature and science is so much cooler.
yeah, dude, the Nature and Science was cool. I'm trying to think if there's anything else like
Honestly,
super. But, sorry, what were you saying?
oh, I was just gonna say that honestly, the um I guess pneumatic exhibits that would show up were probably some of the coolest.
Hmm. Yeah, I know.
You
That's
know,
why
the
the
ones that
dog
you would
one
go
was. Yeah.
a couple months out of the year, right? Yeah.
So I liked the dog one. That was
I
pretty
think
good
I
to
was
see.
there when they were putting that one together, and it was like, "Please come soon to come see our dog exhibit." I'm like, "Fuck."
Yeah, and the other one's Legos, which I'd be interested to see the one. It's the history of Legos. That was interesting,
Honestly,
but
yeah, I would be pretty down to check that out too.
I was
Honestly,
just
that
short
looks
on
pretty
time,
cool.
so
I'd
I didn't get
love
to
to.
check it out. But yeah.
I know.
Anything else notable in like Denver that for any like tourists or anything that you can think of?
Hmm.
Denver, of
I
all the
mean,
cities out there, is definitely not like the most notable cities of like anywhere you could go. But
like outside of, I mean, you'll find a lot of small businesses, so you'll get a lot of really cool little like restaurants and stuff. But that's really all dependent on where in Denver you are. You go really up north, it's way different than if you start going south.
yeah, that's definitely true. So, let me put my notes here. Or actually, you said you had some stuff you wanted to talk over too, real quick. So if you have, or actually, real quick, I want to breeze over this real quick. Just like obviously the landmark in Denver. Everybody who lives in Colorado knows that the mountains are west. So you just look west, and then you can pretty much figure out your directions from there. So, but yeah, I just thought that'd be interesting to note. So yeah, you have anything you wanted to go over? Because I know you had some topics you wanted to hit. I have a couple more, but if you want to throw something around.
I mean, if you want me to start talking about the gold mines.
Yeah, if you want to talk about the gold mines, I don't know a ton about them, but yeah, if you want to talk about them, go ahead.
um Well, first of all, Colorado, a lot of early Colorado infrastructure was based around minings. There was the big boom in the late 1850s, which brought like a lot of people to like Boulder, Blackhawk, Central City, Idaho Springs, Breckenridge, Fairplay, Alma, Como, Leadville, places just normally that were just the backwoods at the time. And right now we think Idaho Springs and like, oh, cool. I'm gonna go. I couldn't think of anything
Go
in
see the high
Idaho Springs.
school. Go
Isn't
see the
there?
high school cheerleaders.
Go see the high
Idaho's.
school,
Idaho's.
right? Or oh, I'm gonna go to Blackhawk and go hit up the casinos. But
Yeah.
no, there were a lot of the cities in Colorado were old mining towns.
Yeah, I think coal
Um,
too. Coal is pretty prevalent as well, but yeah, Blackhawk.
and what's
Blackhawk. If
really
you want to go to
notable, yeah,
casinos for the weekend, that's obviously we forgot to mention Blackhawk. So that's just almost all casinos. Just a fuck ton of
the
casinos, but
Lodge Casino.
your first place for
Your
fun.
choice for fun.
Yeah.
Or yeah, your first place for
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Shit. The jingles
we were
already
we are
came
gonna
out of
hit
the
jingles.
fucking
Don't
back
worry.
reaches of my mind,
Yeah,
dude.
I would not even have thought of that if you
Um,
hadn't started singing it, but.
right? I know, it was totally gone.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, like, it's really notable that a lot of the states, when during right after the mining boom started fading away, and the gold had kind of equalized into the economy, most of the mining towns that were booming disappeared. But a lot of those cities, all of which aforementioned, survived the rush.
Mhm.
And now today, there's some of the largest cities in Colorado.
Yeah. And like I said, like if you go do
Uh,
off roading and stuff, you can definitely go explore a lot of those mines that are still around. Like they're usually like blocked off, but you can still
oh
see like the
yes,
buildings and stuff around them, which is why I like Argentine Pass. There's a lot of mines there, and like I think,
and they do a lot of tours too. Actually, a lot. Like you
yeah,
got Cripple Creek, Lowell Thomas, Molly Kathleen, the Heidi Gold Mine. That one's really cool.
hmm
Um, County Boy Mine is fun. Oh, going up to Keystone.
Yeah.
Um, I remember I did like a like for outdoor lab instead of going to Windy Peak, I went to Keystone.
Hmm.
Um, and they took us like deep into one of those mining tunnels, and they were showing us like how they pumped air, and they showed us the fluke where they would send all of the coal or and gold and shit that they extracted from the mine down the massive hill, and explained how in like the winter, like back in 1800s, winters in Colorado were nasty.
Hmm.
So you got to think
They
these
still kind
things,
of
these
are, but
places, these shacks, right? Right, these shacks are out there, and they build these 2 or 3 stories tall so that they would be able to get kinetic energy, and then you get a 7 or 8 foot feckin' snowstorm.
yeah, definitely. Speaking about Keystone,
You're
real
up
quick
there.
too. We talked about skiing, but we didn't really talk about a lot of ski resorts. So Keystone is my favorite place to ski because they have the gondolas. Because I fucking hate the ski lifts because I feel like I'm gonna die.
Oh yeah,
And it's like,
right.
and they have night skiing, which
Those
is a
are
lot of
sketchy.
fun. But just real quick, I want to just hit some other ski places. We have like Loveland, so you have like Loveland Pass,
Yep,
which is a
good
pretty good
stuff.
one. I don't think I've ever skied at Loveland, but I hear it's pretty good. And then you have like A Basin, which is where I started skiing, and A Basin is just super fucking steep, but it's really good to get you trained up on how not to die going down a mountain. And actually, my mom was skiing at A Basin. She had a really bad accident there, so she's kind of been fucked up a long time from that for hitting a tree going too fast down it. So
Yikes.
skiing can be dangerous, but a lot of fun too at the same time.
It most of the time is pretty dangerous. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
And then, but those are kind of the ski resorts around there. I just want to touch on that real quick. But yeah, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you, but you can go on if you have any more else to say about mines and stuff.
um, they're cool. Don't go wandering in them unless it's with a guided guy.
Don't
And
drink
don't
and
listen to the
drive,
voices.
kids.
Don't drink and drive, kids.
Other
Come on
jingles.
now.
Obviously, we got the tree farm jingle. So the tree farm jingle was
We
shit.
got the tree farm. We got the
Take
lodge. Those are my
I-25,
two main
exit
ones.
235, 5 miles west
Go
to
5
the tree
miles. Let's
farm.
go.
I'm trying to
Go
think,
bump.
what are the jingles we got that you can think of at the top of your head? You got any jingles?
Um, the aforementioned lodge casino jingle.
Mm-hmm.
That one got lost into my memory banks.
Now I can't think of the other jingles now that we've mentioned it, but we might come up with some more jingles as we talk. But yeah,
Whoa. There was no auto one, which I can't remember.
the which one?
The Go Auto,
I don't think I know that one, but
the one that was backed by like that tall guy.
yeah, I don't remember. Oh, we got like the obviously have like all the lawyer guys. Sawaya Law Firm.
So what?
Mike
My law firm.
Sawaya Law Firm.
Oh my god. Do you remember Jeff?
Jeff?
Ha, I'm Jeff.
I
Tell
don't
me
remember
a
Jeff.
story.
I remember the strong arm.
God,
He
that
had
poor
like
man sounded
I don't remember his
brain
name.
damaged.
I don't remember who the strong arms guy's name was, but he had like something strong arm. So, but yeah, something else
Yep,
different I
all
want to mention real
the
quick.
ambulance chases.
Uh-huh. But something else I want to mention real quick is if you're driving on I-70, I-70 is like our main highway. It goes like all the way from the airport. So if you're getting out of the airport, you'll definitely drive. But there's this fucking dog food factory for Purina. And oh my god, I think everybody like can just look at a picture of that and just smell the
Oh
fucking reek
my
of
lord.
dog food coming from that.
You can
Holy
smell
shit.
it
But
miles away.
yeah,
It's so bad.
yeah, so definitely it's
And you
even
have to drive by it if you wanna go to the airport. Like, if
yeah.
you're on any side, like, west of Denver, you have to drive past it unless you wanna pay tolls.
I think it's even worse than the Fort Morgan factory, if I'm being honest. The Fort Morgan one is Kellogg's, I think. So it's like cereal, which is pretty bad too. But
Right? That just sounds like industrial asshole. That smells like dog
it
asshole.
smells like industrial asshole.
Nothing.
I mean, everywhere out there smells like cow pies anyway. So you just go out there, it's like, holy shit. I don't know how people live out there. Literally, holy
Oh,
shit. But
shit. Right? Like, oh my god.
so,
Oh, another thing I forgot to mention,
yeah.
Dinosaur Ridge.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
people went up there in like the 80s and found a bunch of dinosaur fossils out kind of by the Morrison area.
More
And
recently, Sorry, let you finish your story first, but.
That was it. That was pretty much it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say more recently they were improving 470, which is now one of our highways, and they had to halt construction for a minute because they found dinosaur bones too. And I guess they were saying if they
No
found any
way.
more, yeah, you didn't hear about that? That was like last year. They had to halt 470 for a minute because they
Oh,
found
that's
dinosaur
so
bones.
cool.
And they just proceed with the project, but they said if they found any more dinosaur bones, they would have to cancel adding that extra lane to 470. So, which they fucking finished after like 4 fucking years now. Holy shit! I can't believe
I
it
know.
took
It
so long
took
to have that
a
highway
minute.
clean, but fuck me. Yeah. So the last point I had, obviously, and then we can kind of go into more your point stuff. Just kind of the weed culture, which I said we were gonna get into, but because obviously Colorado was like one of the first to be like, legalize weed and kind of like get all of that stuff going. So like the dispensaries are immersed here, like just fucking all over the place, and people can
Everywhere.
grow like can grow like what is it, like 4 ounces or something? Like they can grow a little bit of plants privately in your own house if you wanted to,
Yeah,
but.
they do it per plant. You can grow 6 plants for recreational and um 12 for medical, and then you could drop a deposit and get another like 60 something plants, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and then obviously, so that's definitely helped our economy because we kind of led the way for that. Because I think we were the first of 3 states to legalize weed. So I think the other ones were like, what was it, Wyoming and Washington or something like that? I know Wyoming was, or
Something like
Washington was
that.
one. Is Washington something else? I don't know if it was Wyoming, but yeah, I do remember being the top three, and I remember doing any type of weed stuff. Still interesting to note over. So I hate the smell of weed, so
Right.
like I drive past dispensaries and it kind of makes me gag. But fuck me, they're all over the place
Really?
now. I can't handle it, man. I don't know how. I don't know how you do that because I know you smoke weed occasionally, but yeah, if you want to kind of touch on that topic a little bit more, be my guest.
Well, well, I, my mom works or used to before she went out to Vegas. Worked at a dispensary, so that's where I don't get most of my information from. So I'm
And
not
your
really
and your
in that
product.
whole culture. I don't really smoke that often as an adult.
Hmm.
I have better stuff to do.
Well, I remember at high
But like,
school, it was like almost all of our classmates were smoking weed, which was interesting. So, but
dude, honestly, Conifer, Conifer was also really into like amphetamines and other like bad stuff too.
I was a
That
good boy, so I
I'm
didn't really
very
know what was
glad.
going on, but I just kind of
I
stuck to
know.
myself. So,
It was like my junior year, and I was wandering in the locker room to pull some shit out of my locker, and I just see a bunch of dudes lined up on the bench, snorting lines of some crunched up pills. I'm like, what the fuck? Are you dumb?
well,
Are
okay. On
you
this subject of
daft?
snorting stuff, I was being an idiot last week, and I totally just snorted some baby powder to be funny.
Oh no!
Just a little
Brutal.
bit, but it was fucking hilarious. So it was worth it. Although my lungs did feel a little fucked
That's
up
so
for a couple
funny.
hours. So don't
Yikes.
snort baby powder, but it smelled so good.
Don't
You just want
snort baby
just gotta
powder.
get a little whiff. Oh shit, that's fucking hilarious.
Get
But
a little whiff.
yeah, yeah. But anyway, unless you have anything else to add to that, yeah. What other kind of bullet points did you want to kind of talk over?
I mean, we pretty much covered mine. I was gonna kind of dip it in the national forests a little bit, but I mean, it wasn't gonna be deep diving. Just they're really good for off roading and camping, and some of the greatest views you can find are some of the most random spots that one would think. A lot of people go straight towards like Pike's Peak and all of the known ones, but like Hall Valley, goes right into Pike National Forest, and that's only like an hour from Bailey, and that's some of the best off-roading and best camping that you could do in Colorado.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was thinking like obviously a lot of people like hiking here too, and I live by a fuck ton of hiking trails. So you have like
Oh, yeah, they're everywhere.
yeah, there's like Lair of the Bear is a really good one
Everywhere.
if you want to go next to the river and whatnot. And then you have like Beaver Brook's like an 8 mile one, but it's not a loop, so like you have to park on the other side of it and whatnot. But there's a whole bunch of other fucking
Yep.
stuff. So But anyway, guys, if anybody's watching, for people who are watching, I do have chat enabled. So if you guys have any questions or anything you want to know about too, you can definitely start
Feel
asking
free
them.
to ask away.
Obviously, talking about the winters, winters are obviously unique to here. So obviously, we get a fuck ton more snow than other places. So definitely have to be prepared to have like some winter tires, and definitely be prepared to like drive in that, especially where I live, and you, because we both live in the
Oh
mountains. So
yeah.
we get a lot more snow in the
I
city.
definitely I remember a 7 foot footer. I still remember that. Having to go from my second story balcony into the snow just to get out of my house. Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah, that's definitely no fun for anyone. But and then you go into the city, and it's like nobody can fucking drive down in the city, so they just start like fucking wrecking all over the place.
Right? It's just danger.
But I feel like as far as
You're just surrounded by danger
driving the
everywhere.
city, like obviously everybody's an asshole, just like every other city. I feel like, but it's not as bad as like Dallas. I've driven in Dallas before, and I feel like I was gonna die there. So not about
Oh,
that life,
right. I
but
went out to Vegas for my birthday with a couple of my friends, and oh my God, it's a whole nother world. Like everybody, it feels like everybody around you is like on crack. It's terrifying. I don't understand how people can do it.
hmm yeah. But other than that, I'm trying to think if there's anything else we were kind of like missing. I think like other major points. Obviously, everybody here. I guess like the car culture. Everybody here has like an SUV, of course, like 4x4 Subarus. Fuck ton of people have Subarus, so yeah, you see Subaru
I
Outbacks
see
fucking
so many
everywhere. But
Subarus. I see a lot of SUVs and like small sized or like mid sized sedans, stuff that's kind of suited the all wheel drive.
hmm
I see some people in like coupes and hatchbacks, but
yeah, that seems
they
pretty fucking
dumb.
rare. But yeah, I feel like I ever hardly ever see those unless you have like good snow tires. That's about the gist of that. But right,
Oh,
yeah.
they got a California plate.
Oh, California. There's a lot of Texas plates right now. Fuck me. Texas people moving
Oh
here.
my God,
I mean, everybody's moving
fucking
here. Just
Texas.
fucking everybody needs to stop moving here.
Everybody's moving
Come to
here.
visit, but don't move here. We don't. We're at capacity. We can't handle it.
We are at capacity.
Yeah,
Or if you
definitely.
do move here, don't vote the way you voted in the place that you left because that's why you left. Don't bring
Mm-hmm.
it here.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But obviously, you and I have grown up in the mountains all of our lives too, right? So, well, do you live here your whole life, or did you move here when you were like younger or something?
Yep.
Yeah, lived your whole
Oh
life.
yeah, no. Born and raised Rose Hospital.
Cause oh Rose, okay, yeah, cause that's in down kind of downtown area. I know where that is. But I was born in Texas, obviously in Dallas. I moved here when I was like 3, but I've still lived here my whole life, so I grew up and that's what I've kind of known. But
Pretty much a Colorado native.
yeah, but
Almost. Pretty
it's
much.
interesting. Do another story here because we still have time to kill if we want to. But today I ran up to my house real quick to let my dog out, and my coworker needed a ride, so I'm like, well, I need to run home and like stop and get some gas. But if you're fine with that, like we should be back. Like we won't really be back late or anything. So I drove up to my house and like let my dog out, and I didn't even think about it. But I like looked over her. She didn't look too good. She looked fucking like pale, and I'm like, what's going on? She's like, oh, I'm just like super nauseous. And I'm like, oh, I guess I didn't really think about like bringing a city person up into the mountains where it's like windy roads and higher pressure. So she was like not feeling too good, which I didn't really think about. Um, but yeah, I guess if you are going to higher altitudes, you could have a problem with that of like doing the windy roads and your ears are gonna be popping all that good shit. So always a good time. But
Oh yeah, I know my cousin when when they came out to visit, she had serious troubles with the windy roads. Like living in Florida, which is flat and straight,
mhm.
having no longer flat, no longer straight roads, kind of fuck switches.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I remember, you know, going to my medical stuff here. We have the Mother Cabrini Shrine next to where I am too. So kind of a religious thing, right? And so people come from like Florida and California, like priests and stuff. They'll come to the Mother Cabrini Shrine and they'll like hike up the stairs to get to the shrine. And they'll just be like dying from altitude sickness. So we've had to go pick those guys up a few times in the ambulance and like taken to the hospital and stuff. But so yeah, that's
Yep.
always a fun time. So if you're coming up here, bring some
In fact,
oxygen or something. But
right? What's funny about the altitude is a lot of because of that, a lot of military and sports teams come out to Colorado and train up here because it does put a little bit of extra strain So it gets your respiratory system more attuned to the higher altitudes, so that when you're down back in the lower altitudes, you're at a higher functionality.
Hmm. No, that's definitely. Um, yeah, unless you have anything to add, we've almost hit an hour mark, so I feel like that could be a decent place to stop. But yeah, if you have anything to last minute remarks or anything.
Colorado's cool.
Too cool for school. It's funny because if you
Too
drive into
cool.
Colorado and you see our sign that says "Welcome to Colorado," it's like the least colorful, bland, fucking green ass sign you'll see in your life.
Oh, it's so boring.
Just look up the "Welcome to Colorado" sign. It's so fucking dumb, but yeah.
It's just sad.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, great. I guess we could probably end it off there. It doesn't look like we have any questions. Looks like Space Girl and Psycho kind of jumped in earlier, but looks like they kind of left now, so the real T as well. But yeah, so anyway, thanks for joining me this week, Casey. I don't know what
What's
next
cool?
week's I don't know what next week's podcast is going to be on yet. I'll kind of figure it out, but I'll let you know if maybe it's something you could jump in on and we could talk about or whatnot. So it'll probably just be like
Right on.
a video
That'd be
game.
my pleasure.
I mean, video games, I feel like is a
Oh,
classic one to do. So, we can just talk about our favorite video
that would,
games.
yeah,
And
that's a good that's a great topic.
yeah, so if you
Video
have every
game
Monday off,
news. We got
right?
all
Or
through
no?
all sorts of stuff. Yeah, for now, yeah, it seems like it.
Okay. Yeah, so next week, let me know. I'll probably hit you up. We could probably do one on video games. Obviously, I'm probably gonna do one on anime the week after, maybe, but that one doesn't really pertain to you as much, so you don't have to be there for that one. But um,
I know a little. I know some about
I mean, you can be
anime.
there if you want. I just don't know how much you'll be able to contribute to it. I'll feel mostly be weebing out, so. But
Yeah.
yeah, I am a weeb.
Well, somebody needs to be there to make fun of you weeping out.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. All right. Well, anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us today, and we will be
Oh, thank
back.
you, thank you.
We'll be back tomorrow with fuck. What am I playing tomorrow? Subnautica Below Zero. So until then, guys, have an amazing night, and